name is Khare, and on my YouTube channel of 2.5 million subscribers, I host and produce a show called Challenge Accepted. Why am I spending literal months on one single video? First of all, I think that there should be more women kicking ass on YouTube. Second of all, I didn't see anybody who looks like me on Disney Channel growing up in America. Third of all, I want to prove that YouTube can rival traditional film and TV, not just with view count, but with quality, without people in suits in the way. Welcome to day 3. How are you guys doing? Okay, I know you guys are tired. So my name is Khare, and on my YouTube channel of 2.5 million subscribers, I host and produce a show called Challenge Accepted. This show documents me doing everything and anything I can imagine of, diving into the world's most difficult professions, lifestyles, and communities. I've done everything from clicker's working, going to Marine boot camp, to trying to master chess for 8 months, leading up to a tournament with a prize fund of $250,000. I didn't win. But anyways, I've been lucky enough to do over 30 episodes of Challenge Accepted, exploring some of the different corners of the world. I've done everything from training with NASA astronauts, to joining a clowning troupe, to even being the shortest model ever allowed to walk London Fashion Week at a staggering 5 foot 2 inches. And for all you metric people, it means I'm very short. Even just yesterday, I was at Flight Attendant Academy being thrust around in a $35 million hydraulic plane set, learning how to survive a plane crash. And what's really interesting about my videos is because they take so long to make, I often have to train for multiple things at the same time. There was a period of my life where for 5 weeks, I was training with a professional ballerina for a real-life recital in front of an audience. And this happened to overlap with astronaut training. So there was one day of my life, this was the craziest day, where in the morning I went to ballet rehearsal for 3 hours, like doing pirouettes and whatever. And then in the afternoon, I went and piloted a fighter jet over Los Angeles. This was all in the same day. There was another month of my life where I had a really amazing opportunity to host a kids survival show on HBO Max, but I didn't want to give up my YouTube output. So I ended up deciding to do both. Every morning before set, I woke up at 4 a.m. and went to a local ice skating rink. I drive down the mountain in the middle of the nowhere, found this ice skating rink, and I trained with an Olympic figure skater every single morning, would come back up the mountain, shower, and go right to set. This is my life, and I love it. So a question I get asked all the time, every time I do a Q&A is, okay, Michelle, what's the craziest challenge you've ever accepted? Which one was the toughest? And when Nasir in the back asked me to do the talk, he was like, okay, your talk is going to be called The Craziest Challenge Ever Accepted, go. And I've got to be honest with you guys, and this is me telling Nasir right now, I don't know. And that's not even me copping out, okay? Because when you train with people at the top of their game, no matter what profession they're in, it's going to be intense. And I got to say, don't mess with clowns, guys. Okay, clown training was really insane. But maybe the next question I could answer is, why? Why am I doing this? Why am I spending literal months on one single video? And I have a lot of reasons why. So, first of all, I think that there should be more women kicking ass on YouTube. Straight up. Second of all, I didn't see anybody who looks like me on Disney Channel growing up in America. And third of all, I want to prove that YouTube can rival traditional film and TV, not just with view count, but with quality, without people in suits in the way. But when I really tap into my deepest core why, every single one of my videos is rooted in a deep fear of my own. Let me give you a couple examples. I want to be a ballerina, but I'm not graceful enough. I want to be a firefighter, but I'm not brave enough to enter a burning building. I want to be a clown, but I'm not funny enough. Once I started including these fears, these gross, uncomfortable moments, like this one, hey, this is me at police academy after I got pepper sprayed. Do not recommend, by the way. The point is, once I started including these deep-seated, ugly, uncomfortable fears, the audience reacted in a way I never could have imagined. I had to let go of this perfect Instagrammable idea of I gotta nail it every time. The videos elevated beyond girl who tries things into half-hour documentaries of personal development that inspired the audience to attack a fear of their own. And not only did the videos get better, but they also started performing better too. I had to look inside and realize I have to include my failures. And this, Nasir, this is my greatest challenge ever accepted. Because I truly believe that life's greatest moments of growth exist just beyond the peak of a clear challenge. In other words, everything you want is on the other side of fear. Great quote, love it. This is a mantra that exists far beyond my content, to be honest. It bleeds into how I run my business. It bleeds into my own personal dreams. Even trying a new food, to be honest. I always ask myself, am I allowing fear to control my life? And if I am, at any point in my life, big or small, how can I confront it head on? And as creators in the audience, a lot of us have had these shared little challenge acceptance. It may have been when you decided to quit your full-time job to do whatever it is we do that your parents don't understand. It may have been when you decided to trust an editor for the first time with your baby. It may have been when you decided to launch your first merch product, even a t-shirt, and were terrified no one would buy it. And for you investors in the audience, it may have been when you decided to trust a bunch of 20-year-olds on the YouTube site with your marketing budget and were pleasantly surprised with the results. I am available for sponsorship, by the way. Talk to me after. I've come to realize that facing fear, or building bravery rather, is a lot like a fitness routine. When you face fear and see positive results, it's super inspiring to get back in there, go to the gym, and get it done. But when you step into vulnerability, fail publicly, and don't quite stick the landing, motivation can be an all-time low. Whew. So, I want to do a little experiment with you guys. I want you to ask yourself right now. Okay, so everybody, think of something right now that is, a little fear or a moment of blockade in your content or even in your business. I want you to ask yourself, what would you do if you were brave? And I know this might be setting off some red flags for y'all in the audience. You're like, no, I'm not brave. I don't want to talk about it. I want to do the thing. And to that I would say, please just stick with me for 2 minutes. I'm really trying to impress Nasir right now. Just stick with me. Okay, 2 minutes, promise. I am going to show you some things that I've answered when I've asked this question of myself. If I was brave, I would reach out to a creator I admire for mentorship or feedback on a project. Just write the message and hit send. I would take the time to go through the proper hiring process, expand my team, and add a new producer. I would cold call the United States FBI, make a badass pitch about myself and what I would offer in a collaboration. And finally, if I was brave, I would, dramatically, as if I'm in a movie, tell my ex he's the absolute fucking worst, and when he forgot my birthday 2 weeks before we broke up, it was unforgivable. But here, I have to make an important distinction, okay? What you should really be asking yourself is, if I was brave and smart, I would. Because if I was smart, I would have just moved on. Yeah. Now, I think that this activity is a bit far-fetched, right? It can lead to more questions than answers sometimes, and you might not necessarily get to exactly where you want to go, but I find that this activity is really interesting because when you imagine the brave version of yourself doing something, it can actually lead to very clear action items that can inspire your non-brave self to have a little bit of courage to go for it. I actually did cold call the United States FBI, their 1-800 number on their website. Somebody answered, and it ended up leading to the best performing video on my channel. So that was pretty cool. The point is, these are the conversations I would encourage you guys to have this weekend. And, ones that I want to have with you. This is me saying, I want to have these conversations with you. Earlier in the pandemic, I was struggling because I felt like I was on an island by myself. I kept telling myself, I'll be a part of the YouTube community when I hit X subscribers, X views, and X dollars in revenue. I felt like in the pandemic I was watching everybody, collaborate on TikTok and do all these amazing things. And if you've ever felt like this, I guarantee you, you're not the only person in the audience who has. It's definitely an unspoken and difficult thing to confront. Another thing that I was talking to another creator about recently was this idea that you're only as good as the views on your most recent upload. Ugh, hate that, but I'm also super guilty of it, right? I mean, when you have a video go viral, and if you've ever experienced that, it is the coolest feeling in the world for 5 minutes, and then you start worrying about other things. But when you have a video that doesn't do well, it can kill your motivation for days or even weeks at a time. So, with the little time we have left this weekend, I really encourage you guys to step into that vulnerability because we have such a special opportunity being on the forefront of the Wild West of the creator economy, right? And we've had this great opportunity in our summit to get up here and talk about our successes and our wins and everything, but I encourage you to talk about your failures because you might not be alone. And when we work together, one-on-one, just like I've learned in my videos, these are the moments of true connection. So, with the little time we have left this weekend, I want to challenge all of you to be vulnerable, step into fear, and most of all, be brave.